Welcome to Remington Country, where you can enjoy the thrill of the shooting sports, the camaraderie of your fellow shooters, and the beauty of the natural outdoors. As the owner of a new Remington firearm, you'll enjoy some of the best hunting and shooting you've ever done. Hi, I'm Tommy Milner, president of the Remington Arms Company. I'd like to thank you for choosing a Remington as your new firearm. You're among the millions of shooters worldwide who share a commitment to superior quality and performance in the products they use. There's something else you share too, and that's the responsibility for safe handling and storage that goes hand in hand with gun ownership. We'd like to take a few minutes with this video to go over what we in Remington Country call the 10 Commandments of Safety. They're written in this booklet that came with your gun. The message is crystal clear. Firearm safety depends on you.
In 1816, Eliphalet Remington built his own flintlock because he knew he could make one that was just as good and possibly better than what he could buy. He was right, too. His handcrafted barrel set a new standard for firearm accuracy and spawned generations of products that have made Remington Arms America's leading gun maker. While performance and style are certainly hallmarks of Remington, one factor ultimately drives their performance. That is safety. Eliphalet Remington never lost sight of the fact that his rifle was potentially lethal and could kill someone if handled improperly. And after almost 180 years, the same holds true for any firearm, including your new Remington. Hello, I'm Steve Canale, shooting enthusiast and longtime user of Remington firearms. A superbly crafted gun is only as good as the hands that hold it. And while you may be very sensible in the handling of your firearm, you can never be too careful, because shooting accidents often result from careless oversights, like failing to fully engage the safety, leaving ammunition in the chamber, or using improper loads. Shooting accidents usually result in the destruction of life, limb, or property. There's no calling back a bullet once it's been fired. So it's critical that you know the principles of safe gun handling and storage before you even take your new Remington firearm out of its box. All Remington firearms are packaged with an owner's manual, accompanied by a booklet and videotape on safety. If for some reason you're missing either one of the booklets, call 1-800-243-9700 and we'll send a replacement immediately. You need to familiarize yourself with both the manual and the safety booklet, because the proper use of your gun depends on the correct assembly and maintenance. Even if you're a veteran shooter with a collection of Remington firearms, take the time to watch this tape and read the literature. Every gun is different in its construction and use. That means the first step in safe handling is to learn the features and requirements of your new Remington. The 10 Commandments of firearm safety that Tommy mentioned earlier should be etched in your memory forever. Let them govern your actions whenever and wherever you're involved with firearms, in the bush, on the range, or in your home. Please take the time with me now to go over these rules. The first commandment: always keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. This is the most important gun safety rule. A safe direction is one in which an accidental discharge will not cause injury to yourself or others. Never point your muzzle at anything you don't intend to shoot. Be especially careful when you're loading or unloading, and make it a habit to know where your muzzle is pointed at all times. Treat every gun as if it were loaded. No one will be injured from an accidental discharge if you keep your muzzle pointed in a safe direction. It's as simple as that. The second commandment: firearms should be unloaded when not actually in use. Load your firearm only when you're in the field or on the target range and ready to fire. Never let a loaded gun out of your sight or out of your hands. Unload it as soon as you're finished shooting, before you bring it into your car, camp, or home. Before handling a firearm or passing it on to someone else, visually check the chamber, receiver, and magazine to be certain that they do not contain ammunition. Always keep the gun's action open when not in use. Never assume a gun is unloaded, even if you were the last person to use it. Let common sense rule when you carry a loaded gun. If you're in any kind of a situation that could risk accidental discharge, like crossing a fence, wading through a stream, or climbing a tree, unload your gun. Never pull or push a loaded firearm toward yourself or another person. And never carry a loaded gun in a scabbard, detached holster, or a gun case. Let's talk for a minute about proper storage of your firearms. First, they must never be stored loaded. And second, they must be kept in a secure place where no one can get their hands on them without your knowledge. Take special care if there are children around. Kids are fascinated by guns, a natural curiosity that can have tragic consequences when not properly supervised. Store your firearms in a locked gun safe or some other location where a child is physically barred from gaining access. Never leave an unsecured firearm in a closet, a dresser drawer, or under the bed. Kids have an uncanny knack for discovering hiding places. And always be sure your unloaded firearm and ammunition are securely locked in separate places. If for some reason a youngster does find your gun, you can at least be sure he or she won't be able to load it. The third commandment, don't rely on your gun's safety. Treat every gun as though it can fire at any time, whether or not there's pressure on the trigger. Your firearm has been carefully designed to maximize performance and safety. However, a gun's safety is a mechanical device, and like any mechanical device, it could fail. Human error is more likely a reason for a gun safety to fail. You could think that it's on when it really isn't, or that your gun is unloaded when in fact it is loaded. The safety is not a substitute for common sense. It's only a supplement to your proper handling of the firearm. Don't touch the trigger on a firearm until you're ready to shoot. Keep your fingers away from the trigger while loading or unloading, and don't pull the trigger with the safety engaged or positioned anywhere between safe and fire. The gun could go off at any time. Read your owner's manual to understand the exact location and operation of the safety. Then study these commandments for safeguards against failure or improper use of the gun safety. The fourth commandment, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. You can't stop a shot in midair, so don't fire unless you know exactly where your shot is going and what it'll strike. Never fire at a sound, a movement, or a patch of color. Never shoot without being absolutely sure of what you're shooting at and what's behind it. A hunter in camo can easily be mistaken for a target by an impulsive shooter. Before you pull the trigger, be absolutely certain that your shot has a backstop, such as a hillside or a dense material like sand. Remember, bullets can travel great distances with tremendous velocity. Know how far your shot will go if you miss your target or the bullet ricochets. The fifth commandment, use correct ammunition. Every firearm is designed to use a certain caliber or gauge of ammunition. Using the wrong ammunition or mixing ammunition can cause serious personal injury. And it only takes one cartridge or shot shell of the incorrect caliber or gauge to destroy your firearm. As a gun owner, it's your responsibility to make sure that the ammunition you use exactly matches the caliber or gauge of your gun. Refer to the owner's manual to find out about the specific requirements of your gun. Always read and heed the instructions on ammunition boxes. Examine your shells and cartridges closely. Get a feel for the differences between them. This is a 12-gauge Remington shot shell, and this is a 20-gauge Remington shot shell. One is green, one is yellow. In addition to the obvious color difference, the 12-gauge is broader in diameter and heavier than the 20-gauge. Let's see what happens when you mix these two shells. What you're about to see was performed by experts under controlled conditions. Never attempt to do this yourself under any circumstances. Suppose you accidentally loaded a 20-gauge shell into a 12-gauge shotgun. Because it's too small for the chamber, it will travel down the barrel and probably get lodged in the bore. Then you load your standard 12-gauge shell behind it. When you fire, the shot is going to slam into the 20-gauge and cause the barrel to explode right in your hands. It's what's commonly called a 12-20 burst, and it can kill you. Check all ammunition before you load it to be sure that it matches. Every Remington cartridge and shell is head stamped with its caliber or gauge for easy identification. Likewise, you'll find the caliber or gauge of your new Remington firearm imprinted on the barrel. If you're a reloader, you're responsible for personally assuring that the loads and components of your ammunition meet your gun's factory-tested standards. Millions of shooters hand load as a hobby. or to save money on commercial ammunition. While it can be an interesting and challenging skill, it also requires a thorough knowledge of reloading procedures and a deep respect for the explosive potential of gunpowder. Firearms are designed, manufactured, and proof-tested to standards based on factory-loaded ammunition. Hand-loaded or reloaded ammunition that deviates from load or component recommendations can be very dangerous. Reloaders must observe all possible safety precautions and practices related to the proper handling of explosives. Whether you're a seasoned reloader or just starting out, you should read up on the subject, watch reloading demonstrations, and talk to experienced reloaders. The first rule of reloading is to always follow the powder or bullet manufacturer's instructions for the components that you're using. They'll tell you not to mix or substitute powders or primers because the firearm could explode. Don't use unknown or substandard components. Use only suitable components that have been factory tested by reputable ammunition, powder, and bullet manufacturers. Always be sure to use the manufacturer's recommended recipe when reloading. If not, dangerously high pressure can occur and lead to an explosion that results in serious injury or death. An explosion like this one can result from an overcharge of powder, use of the wrong powder or primer, or incorrect shot. This incident was also created under highly controlled laboratory conditions to prove a point. Under no circumstances should you try to duplicate an explosion on your own, regardless of your experience handling firearms or ammunition. The process of reloading also means exposure to environmentally hazardous materials. Lead is the most common substance in bullets and shot. Handle lead bullets and shot with extreme care. Work only in a well-ventilated area and always wash hands after exposure and before eating. Discharging firearms in a poorly ventilated area, cleaning firearms, or handling ammunition can also result in exposure to lead. Likewise, primers and powders are highly toxic and flammable. After reloading, clean up all materials. Don't leave powder or primer spills anywhere on the floor or the bench top. Dispose of all waste materials in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations. Finally, concentrate on what you're doing at all times. Remember that you are working with extremely hazardous materials and can't risk even a few seconds of distraction. When all safety and health precautions are observed, reloading can be a safe, inexpensive, and an enjoyable way to make your own ammunition. The sixth commandment: if your gun fails to fire when the trigger is pulled, handle with care. If for some reason the ammunition doesn't fire when you pull the trigger, stop and remember the first commandment of gun safety. Always keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Keep your face away from the breech, open the action, unload the firearm, and dispose of the cartridge safely. Remember, anytime there's a shell in the chamber, your gun is loaded and ready to use. Even if you've tried to shoot and it didn't fire, it could still discharge. The seventh commandment: always wear eye and ear protection when shooting. Your sight and hearing risk injury from shooting and should be protected at all times. Wear shooting glasses to guard against falling shot, clay target chips, powder residue, and even twigs in the field. And wear them when you're disassembling or cleaning a gun so that springs or tension parts, solvents, and other agents don't contact your eyes. Continued exposure to shooting noise can damage your hearing. Use the maximum protection of a headset on the range where shooting volume is the loudest. And learn to use earplugs in the field, especially in confined locations like duck blinds. The eighth commandment: be sure the barrel is clear of obstructions before shooting. Before loading your gun, open the action and make sure there's no ammunition in the chamber or the magazine. Check to see that there's no debris of any kind in the barrel. Even a small amount of snow, mud, excess lubricant, or grease in the bore can dangerously increase pressure and cause the barrel to bulge or burst on firing. Use a cleaning rod and patch to wipe away anti-rust compounds or any other residues in the barrel. Never try to remove an object from the barrel by loading another shell and firing. When firing, trust your instincts. If the noise or recoil on firing seems off, stop everything and be sure nothing is lodged in the barrel. Remember the 12-20 burst? That's what can happen when the barrel is obstructed. So we'll repeat our warning to always be sure you're using the correct ammunition in your firearm and that the bore is free of obstructions. The 9th commandment, don't alter or modify your gun and have guns serviced regularly. Your firearm has been designed to operate according to certain factory specifications. You'll jeopardize your safety and that of others by attempting to alter its trigger, safety, or other mechanisms. So never alter or modify your firearm in any way. Like any mechanical device, your gun is subject to wear. It must be maintained and periodically serviced to assure optimum safety and performance. Don't allow anyone to service, repair, or modify your firearm unless they're a qualified Remington service facility. Consult your owner's manual for instructions on how to send your firearm to the factory or the location of the nearest Remington repair station. Proper cleaning and lubrication are also critical to gun maintenance and are necessary to assure accuracy, safety, and reliability. Before cleaning, remember to always make sure your firearm is unloaded. And always clean the barrel from the chamber end to the muzzle. Make it a practice to clean your bore every time you're going to shoot. And clean your gun before and after long-term storage, and no less than once a year. And clean your gun whenever it has been exposed to adverse conditions such as rain, dirt, mud, snow, sleet, or in saltwater areas. All parts of your firearm must be properly cleaned and lubricated. Pay especially close attention to the fire control. Carefully inspect the trigger assembly to be sure it's clean and free of debris and residue buildup. Use recommended lubricants on your gun and take care not to over-lubricate. Excessive use of a non-recommended lubricant could cause serious functional problems that might result in an accidental firing. Remington has a wide range of firearms care products and resources to help you get the best results cleaning your gun. They're all available from your Remington dealer. Remington's cleaning products range from solvents and lubricants to rods and patches. As with any cleaning product, be sure to carefully follow the manufacturer's directions for use. All cleaners and lubricants contain materials that are toxic and flammable. Heed all warnings and precautions stated on the packaging. Clean up your work area thoroughly after you're done and discard the containers according to the recommendations of your municipality, township, or county for disposal of household hazardous waste. The 10th commandment, learn the mechanical and handling characteristics of the firearm you are using. Not all guns are alike. They have different mechanical characteristics that dictate how you should carry and handle them. Anyone who plans to use a firearm should first become totally familiar with the type of gun it is and the safe handling requirements for loading, unloading, carrying, shooting, and storage. Before you even unpack your new firearm, read the owner's manual from cover to cover and familiarize yourself with the different component parts of the gun. Then read the safety booklet for the general rules on gun safety. Watching this video is not a substitute for reading and studying the owner's manual and safety booklet. If you have any questions about your firearm, don't hesitate to call Remington Customer Service at 1-800-243-9700. There's no such thing as a foolproof firearm. Now that you're a gun owner, you have an obligation to minimize the risk involved in shooting. Now, you can do that not only by practicing the principles of safe gun handling, but by passing them on to others, especially new shooters. Set an example for beginners. Be a guide to their safe entry into the exciting world of shooting sports. Invest your time and patience for the love of the sport and for its future. After all, it's your love of the sport that led you to buy a Remington as your new firearm. We wish you many hours of great shooting and hope your experiences with this gun prompt you to consider other products from America's oldest gun maker. There's one other rule you must follow when handling firearms. In fact, respect for this rule is necessary in order to effectively practice the 10 Commandments of safety. The rule is, shoot sober. Alcohol, drugs, and guns are a deadly combination. Never consume anything that would even mildly impair your judgment or physical coordination when you're using a firearm. A staggering percentage of the shooting accidents that happen every year involve alcohol or drugs. Be smart, shoot sober, and stay alive.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Gun ownership is a right and a privilege. It's a right as guaranteed in this nation's Constitution and heritage. And it's a privilege because the responsible use of firearms demands the highest regard for safe storage and handling. The preservation of this great sport depends on the commitment of you and your fellow gun owners to the responsible use of firearms. Let these commandments of safety guide you. Teach and promote them whenever you can. And remember, always play it safe. That's the only way to really enjoy your new Remington firearm.
Remington offers the broadest line of proven quality firearms, ammunition, and accessories, as well as gun cases, gun care products, safes, and knives. Since 1816, Remington has been the first name in firearms for every shooting need, from target practice to big game hunting. Our extensive line includes a variety of shotguns and rifles in both right and left-handed configurations. And we provide more gun styles than any other manufacturer. For a truly inspiring view of Remington's history, from the first flintlock to the current product line, visit the Remington Museum and Country store at the firearms plant in Ilion, New York. Here, you will see a remarkable collection of firearms spanning nearly 2 centuries of gun-making history. And you'll understand why Ilion is considered by many to be the birthplace of the American sporting arms industry. The Remington Museum's display includes the prototypes for today's most popular guns, including a rifle at Remington's original flintlock, which set the standard for future rifle design. Today, serious rifle users know that Remington is the choice for top performance. For example, our line of Model 700s is praised as the strongest and most accurate out-of-the-box bolt-action rifle ever made.
In 9 of the last 10 NRA hunting rifle championships, the winners had one thing in common. They all shot Remington Model 700 rifles. 9 out of 10. With accuracy like that, why would you go hunting with anything else? The Remington Model 700s. Accuracy that's designed in, not added on.
The Model 700 BDL SSDM has a stainless steel 24-inch barrel, receiver, and bolt for the ultimate in weather resistance and accuracy. The synthetic stock features a trim profile, straight comb, and a raised cheek piece, not to mention our new detachable magazine, which allows greater speed and ease when loading and unloading. It also adds convenience to carrying extra rounds of ammunition. The new detachable magazine box is also available in the popular Model 700 BDL DM, with its high-gloss American walnut stock, Monte Carlo profile comb, and fine-cut checkering. The Model 700 mountain rifle is also equipped with a detachable magazine and is available in 6 long and short-action calibers. At a lightweight 6 3/4 pounds, this handsome rifle features a satin finish American walnut stock and fine satin metal bluing. If you're looking for a fast-handling rifle designed for rapid follow-up shots, then you'll like the Model 7400 gas-operated centerfire autoloader, easily the most comfortable and affordable firearm of its kind. Quick-release detachable magazines let you load and unload quickly. Hammer-forged barrels and rock-solid rotary lockup make this one of the strongest and most accurate rifles in its class. And it's a beauty. The 7400 has a Monte Carlo stock with deep-cut checkering, and all the metal surfaces are highly polished with deep luster bluing. Many of us learned to shoot with a .22 rimfire rifle, and chances are it was a Remington. Relive the experience with a Remington rimfire and share it with your kids while you're at it. Engineered for safe handling, accuracy, and dependability, our .22s are perfect for young and beginner shooters. Remington's rimfire rifles are in a class by themselves, and they include the only .22 pump made in America. For shotgunners who treasure the satisfaction of owning an over and under, the Remington Peerless 12-gauge more than lives up to its name.
To me, heaven would be a big field full of birds and a good dog, really trained, you know, and a fine shotgun, a classic over and under.
Its look is timeless, its feel light and agile, and its pointability is legendary. Peerless, it's your gun, and life is good in a place we call Remington Country.
Practical, well-balanced, lightweight, and durable, the Peerless offers many attractive features. An all-steel receiver, light contour barrels with rim chokes, elongated forcing cone, 3-inch chambers, and American walnut stock with 20 line to the inch deep cut checkering. Its modified traditional underlock design reduces excessive receiver depth and bulk common to many other lock over and unders. A single selective mechanical trigger guarantees fast follow-up shots with an extremely fast lock time. Instant barrel selection is integral with the automatic safety. Nothing beats an autoloader for versatility. This firearms tradition goes back to the early 1900s when Remington introduced the first successful American-made autoloader. Interchangeable choke systems and barrels let these guns handle field, target, and even big game applications. They are at home almost anywhere. Remington's state-of-the-art Model 1187 Premier autoloading shotgun stands alone for balance and handling qualities. It has every desirable and practical feature you could want in a shotgun: strength, versatility, durability, and dependable performance. The 1187 12-gauge autoloader lets you interchange 2 3/4 inch and 3-inch Magnum shells while retaining even balance and great pointability. Light contour barrels contribute to its modest 7.5-pound weight. When it comes to pump-action shotguns, the rugged, dependable Model 870 has been a favorite of American hunters and clay target shooters for more than 45 years. We like to call it old reliable, because with proper care, it will last from generation to generation. For the clay target shooter, Remington offers a selection of single-barrel trap guns designed with 3 objectives in mind: reliability on the firing line, durability for a lifetime of use, and top tournament performance. The 90T is our latest addition to a wide selection of clay target models that include the 1187 sporting clay, trap, and skeet guns. Performance doesn't stop at the end of the barrel. Quality ammunition is as important to successful shooting as quality firearms. Remington has always been at the forefront of ammunition development and originated many of the high-tech features of today's cartridges: non-corrosive primers, plastic body shot shells and shot cup wads, controlled expansion bullets such as Core-Lock and Bronze Point bullets, as well as Power-Lock varmint bullets. We manufacture virtually every kind of ammunition and hundreds of specifications for all types of firearms and shooting situations.
It doesn't matter which shooting sports you prefer, or what your favorite loads may be. Whether you hunt the wetlands and the waterways, the fields and the fence lines, or head for the wide open spaces, Remington has your ammo. So if you want to get more performance out of your guns, try loading more performance into them. Remington. It's what you're shooting for.
Remington's centerfire rifle ammunition includes safari-grade cartridges in many calibers and specifications. Core-Lock soft point bullets are the original standard for dependable, controlled expansion against which all other big game bullets are measured. And our extended range cartridges are designed to give greater energy and velocity at long range so that they reach the target faster and hit harder for a quick kill. Remington's rimfire ammunition combines quality and versatility in the widest selection of rimfire rounds available for plinking, competition, or small game hunting. If you like the challenge of hunting with a pistol or a revolver, then you'll like our Core-Lock handgun hunting ammunition. It delivers the accuracy and stopping power needed by handgunners. In shooting situations where airborne lead is an issue, such as indoor ranges, Remington's lead-lock encapsulated metal ammunition offers the cleanest, most lead-free cartridges on the market. Remington's shotgun ammunition offering includes a full range of 10, 12, 20, 28, and 410 gauge shot shells, with lead and steel loads for clay target, upland and small game, waterfowl, and deer hunting. Trap, skeet, and sporting clay loads give target shooters the edge with high-quality components that can reach targets far and wide. And if you like to reload for performance, enjoyment, or economy, Remington can supply you with the finest reloading components in the industry. Your new Remington firearm represents a sound, long-term investment. It's a superior quality product that with proper maintenance and protection will give you many years of shooting pleasure and excitement. You want to protect this investment with Remington's line of accessories to help you transport, care for, and protect your firearm. You'll find an assortment of handsome and rugged gun cases and socks, duffel bags, shooters and shell bags, and slings made of the highest quality fabrics and materials. Proper gun care is important for optimum performance. Remington's firearms care products contain the most advanced formulas and hardware to clean guns the right way without abrasion or damage while removing all traces of lead and copper buildup. Remington has everything you need in cleaning lubricants for ongoing maintenance of your firearm. The best way to assure your firearm's preservation is to ensure its safekeeping year-round. The Remington security system of home safes can protect your guns and other valuables as well. Strong construction, flexible storage capacity, stylish good looks, and a wide selection of options make these safes an investment in themselves. If you've ever been out in the field, you know that there's one accessory you can't do without, and that's a hunting knife. Remington's broad selection of folding and fixed blade knives are ready to meet every out-of-the-pocket need, from whittling wood to dressing deer. Remington knives are prized for their rugged durability and collectability, and have proven themselves to be a great investment. Some, like our bullet knives, have more than doubled in value over a short period of a few years. Polished carbon or stainless steel blades are built into handles made of wood, Delrin stag, craton, or genuine pearl. From the 9 3/4 inch Sportsman to the 2 3/4 inch Peanut, Remington knives provide rugged readiness in the great outdoors. The love of outdoor sports often goes beyond dry land. Fishing is just as much an American outdoor tradition as shooting and hunting, and is enjoyed by many firearms enthusiasts. The Stren division of Remington Arms provides fishing line and accessories that are the favorites of millions of fishing enthusiasts, from young anglers to saltwater professionals. Stren Fishing Line is the inventor and oldest producer of monofilament fishing line in America. Using the latest technological advances in materials and production, Stren has created fishing lines that are thinner, stronger, more sensitive to a strike, and more flexible to cast. There's a Stren line for every species from panfish to sailfish, and a wide selection of practical accessories to help you reel them in. We sincerely hope that you and your new Remington firearm will become great friends as you traverse Remington Country, a place where you can live out an American tradition. Remington Country is a field or a forest, a mountain or a plain. It's even that patch of woods or pasture behind your home. And it's the friendship that is part of the tradition. The shooters who encourage each other on the range, the gun club members who work to promote safe and responsible shooting. Thanks for being with us today. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you out there in Remington Country. It's where you'd rather be.